entertain my loyalty to infiltrate the only woman that I claim to risk your life to get some strange. All my anger is a pain. You didn't know that I'm a saint. I will blow your up, then I again. Gone, feel it in your bones. You ain't gonna feel it till I'm gone. Caught up in your feelings, now you froze. And everything around you getting cold. The chillers in my bones. Caught up in my feelings, now I'm froze. I don't really feel it till you gone. And everything around me getting.
We are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Miami Dolphins. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Hurts throwing right away. And that is incomplete. Now, you and I, partner, we got the plum assignment this week. An unbeaten team against a one-loss team. Really not much separating these two entering play here today.
Not much at all, and I think for both coaches, they've looked at their team and said, guys, you got to know what you're getting into in this one, and you better be ready to go because you get to answer the big question of the day. Are we as good as we think we are? We're about to find out.
Off the play fake, here's Hurts. Eluding the pressure right. Going deep here for Watkins. And got his man complete. A gain of 39 that time.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
They will run for the first time with Miles Sanders. And a solid run down inside the 30. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. This defense for the Dolphins, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Washington.
Yeah, we're definitely in top form and pitched a shutout, as a matter of fact. That's the cherry on top of a great week of preparation. And you know what? These guys are eager to keep it going. So motivation this week, not an issue. Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. From the gun, it's Hurts. Steps away. And that went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
The kick by Elliott is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll run here with Raheem Mostert. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Going to the air. Tagovailoa. That's out to the flat for Edmonds. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty. Second down and 8.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
On play action, here's Tua. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 27 yards there, a first down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be second and 8. The Dolphins at 5-1 here in this early part of the season. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Open man, that's Gesicki down the field. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 20-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. A first carry now for Chase Edmonds. Fletcher Cox there for the tackle. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
From the 17, Tua, pass complete on the out route to Beckham. And the Dolphins are going to be set up with a first and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line. Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. And nice pass there. Now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams marching right to the goal line and not cash in. They've got something dialed up here that puts it in the end zone. If you're going to keep these guys out of the end zone, you've got to be able to commit to stopping the run, and that's a nice job there, getting the safeties involved in run support.
On second down, this is Edmonds. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
This Eagle defense, they won't give in without a fight. This is 3rd and goal.
Mike 17. Mike 17.
They'll try to run with Edmonds. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
They'll try it now with Mostert. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Raheem Mostert hitting double digits with his 10th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. A good gain on first has them set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Another run with Sanders. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
In motion left here, one of their tight ends. Throwing is Hurts. Gets this into the hands of the tight end, Higbee. And he is going to have an Eagles first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Touchdown, Eagles! Devontae Smith, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles are once again back in front. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7. After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partners, a former defensive back.
A leap, and he's got it. He got it. And they're going to move it down inside the 25. Typically with catches like that, we talk about the height of the wide receiver, but he's one of the shorter receivers in the NFL.
And it doesn't seem to matter, does it? Put the tape measure away. How about some of these guys under 6 feet tall? Antonio Brown, T.Y. Hilton, and Super Bowl 53 MVP, Julian Edelman.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Now Tua. And his throw here's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Looking to pass. Tua. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived. And I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it.
Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. So 4th down, Tua departs, and on is Jason Sanders and the Dolphin field goal unit. And this is going to wind up left. Well struck, but it's no good. And instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Rolling to his right. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. And the Dolphins are going to take over at their own 41. And that's a ball that he is going to want to keep, his first career interception in the National Football League.
And I love what teams do when that happens. You bring the ball to the sideline, the equipment guy grabs it, he puts a piece of tape on it, writes on it so that you know what it is, and then they tuck it away so that you can have it for later and put it on your mantle. Pretty good deal for him right there. Now he's eager to get back out on the field and get his second one.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. This will be caught. It's Waddle. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. They'll run right side with Mostert. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Raheem Mostert with touchdown number 2 in the game, and now 11 on the year, as his guys have now moved out in front. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the lead is now 14-10. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way, because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, it's still in the first half here. A long way to go. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
That's swung out wide to Sanders. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Here's Aaron Sipos out now to punt on 4th down. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. 37 yards on the punt with no return, and it'll be Dolphin football. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. From the gun, it's Tua. And a completion to Wilson. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
That's a good bounce-back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
They'll try and run here with Mostert. And he's going to have a first down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Setting to throw on first down is Tua. He finds his target, Beckham. Tua, a final shot before half. That's complete to Edmonds, his running back. He's got room at the 30. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. So the two teams will head to the locker rooms here in Miami with the Dolphins on top. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And going deep for Hill. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Tua going to throw. Oh, Hill, great grab. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
Boy, that completion comes with a high degree of difficulty, especially on the catch. Had to look that one in one-handed, able to do so, and ends up picking up a first down as well.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 45 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football for triple option, you've actually called that play.
They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. Play action. Now it's Tua. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Hassan Reddick able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And going deep for Hill. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts. He's going to look deep for Watkins. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Hurts. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. Now a give to Mostert running right. He'll get this down to the 38.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And he'll take this one down to the 36.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Off of play action, Tagovailoa. Flush to his right. And this is taken in at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a well-thrown ball right there. This is where arm strength pays off because he's got to be able to get the ball both downfield and to the sideline. And that's one of the more difficult throws for a quarterback, and he put it right where it needed to be.
17's Mike 17.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Chase Edmonds taking it in from 4 yards out. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes it a 21-10 game. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They'll look to make some inroads here, trailing 21-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. Burt sets up to throw it. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
They'll run on 1st down, Edmonds. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football. But that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence. And that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
This is obviously a critical sequence for this defense if they want to stay in this game. Down 2 scores already. They give up a touchdown here. That'll make things really difficult for their offense moving forward.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. They go back to the ground, this time Mostert. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys.
Touchdown! Odell Beckham! A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Dolphins are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. So an important touchdown right there is now they're really beginning to pull away.
Yeah, this was a tight game until not too long ago. But since then, they've hit the accelerator. And they pushed the lead up to 3 scores here in the 4th quarter. And I don't see them looking back.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And that unbeaten record very much in jeopardy. It's been a great first few months of the season so far, but they have run into a buzzsaw here, trailing big in the 4th quarter. Escaping the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Hurts. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Here's Hurts to throw. Flushed out right. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
He didn't like what he saw downfield, decided his best course of action was to take off and run. And that ended up being a gamble that did not pay off for him. Now they would have to gamble again if they want to keep this series going.
Trap 60.
They'll try and throw for it with Hurts. And he's got his man. It's the tight end Goddard. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. They'll drop to throw. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. Play action. Here's Hurts. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And the Dolphins are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. Another solid game-changing play for this defense with the interception. At this point, though, I don't know that it's game-changing. I mean, they've got this one in firm control.
And you always hear about, you know, those stories about someone left their game plan behind and maybe you benefit from it. I'm not going to say that that happened, but they certainly have appeared on defense to be a step ahead this entire game. Guys are always in the right spot in order to make a play.
The offense has had its moments, too. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 79 yards. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And they open the lead up now to 25. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. This has been frustrating for them to this point. They have not looked the same as they did coming in, riding that impressive 6-game win streak. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in a mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now flags come in here. Looked like one of the Eagles might have moved. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They go play action with Hurts. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end Goddard. Throwing again on 2nd down. Hurts eluding the pressure right. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
The offense on third down tonight, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. They'll look to throw again. Over the middle, complete. That's Brown. And he'll get this up near midfield, but that's still a few yards shy of the first down.
60 Vikings, 60 Vikings. Warriors, 70.
They're going on 4th down with Hurts. And this is caught. That's Watkins. Touchdown, Eagles. Quez Watkins, 48 yards. And the Eagles get a bit closer. Elliott good with a PAT. And that'll cut the lead down to 18. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. Well, this D, particularly the secondary, has been picked apart at points here tonight. They finally, though, get to the quarterback, get a pick.
And we know this about him. He loves night games, loves the spotlight, loves being the center of attention. I will bet you that he ran off the field almost chuckling to himself. They finally got one. They finally got me.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Brandon Jones picking it off. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. And that pretty much has been the storyline, Charles. This defense, they seem to be one step ahead from the start of the game until now.
And you identified it perfectly, and we can see the frustration that's settling in now. And it's probably been there for a long time, but now it's evident because you can see it in their faces, you can see it in their body language, maybe even a little bit in that play call that ended up maybe closing them out.
And he'll throw this one away, but I don't think he was out of the pocket. No, here comes the flag. Yeah, he hadn't gotten far enough away from the pocket to throw that football away, and that draws the flag.
Yeah, the old tackle box, right? Get outside of each tackle, and then you can go ahead and throw it away, and you're in good shape. But if you're back there in the pocket, you got to make sure of what you're doing.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker.
10 cycles.
On 3rd and long, it's Tagovailoa. It's caught by OBJ. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. Fair catch called for and made, but they may back him up 10 here and have him do it again. So holding on the return, and that's going to back him up to start the drive.
He was trying to get the job done correctly, just trying to clear a little space for his returner. Ended up getting a little too much jersey and hooked the guy, hence the flag.
Careful, set, let's go.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. Flush to his right. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run. The slot man in motion right. On first down, Hurts. Escaping the pressure right. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down. Back to throw here. And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. Flushed out right. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. Boy, they get him yet again, Charles. 5 interceptions in this game. You rarely see this, maybe a couple of times in a season, but this defense, they've been fantastic.
It's certainly an example of watching a defense that is in the zone, right? We use that term so often, but most of the time, it's for people who are on offense. In this case, it's a defense as a whole, all locked in with each other, all ready to go.
Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And, Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So for the Dolphins, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And next week they get to stay home again as the Los Angeles Chargers come to town. Meanwhile for the Eagles, they fall for the first time this season after 6 wins to start the campaign. And they will be at home next week to take on the New York Giants. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.